Good morning, Gamecocks. I'm Chloe Findlay.
And I'm Meagan Daukshus. Chloe and I are here every week giving you a recap on the news and happenings on the USC campus and around Columbia. This week, we will discuss the field story after USC's recent football win.
We will also welcome some students to our stage to talk about their experience as first-generation students.
But first, we've got a recap on the presidential election results.
We hope to get your weekend started in the right direction. Welcome back to Good Morning Gamecocks. Good morning, Gamecocks. I'm Chloe Findlay.
And I'm Meagan Daukshus.
In national news, it's Super Bowl weekend.
The goldfish, I am convinced have different tastes to them.
I'm convinced they don't. Oh, that's gotta be green. That's gross. Nice job, Meagan.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Meagan.
Good morning, Chloe.
Happy to be here again on another wonderful Friday.
Yes, what a great way to start my day.
So we have big national news today. Our top story, Donald Trump won the presidential election on Tuesday. According to AP, Trump beat Harris now with 301 electoral votes to Harris's 226. They are still counting some of the votes. Trump is already preparing for his second term. Yesterday, he named Susie Wiles as his White House Chief of Staff. Additionally, the GOP has won majority in the Senate and is inching towards majority in the House. In local elections, the Democratic Party won most of Richland County, with the majority of people getting reelected.
In local news, this past Wednesday, 43 monkeys escaped from a Beaufort County research facility.
I don't even know what to say. I need you to explain this a little bit more, because I haven't read this story yet.
Oh, let me give it to you. All right. So Alpha Genesis Research Center had a bunch of monkeys get loose because a new employee did not close the enclosure completely. They've been setting up traps using thermal imaging, and employees are also using food to try to capture them. So they're working their hardest. Residents are being warned in the area to keep their windows and doors closed. These monkeys are small, only 6 to 7 pounds, and they're all females, but they're still so young they haven't been used for any testing before.
All of the local Walmarts and Food Lions are going to be completely out of bananas. They're just going to buy all of the bananas, try to get these monkeys back in the cages.
Oh gosh. Well, there was a group of 50 of them.
50?
Mm-hmm.
They lost 50 monkeys?
Seven stayed behind. They lost 43.
Okay.
43 is still a lot of monkeys, though.
That's a lot of monkeys that are just running loose in Beaufort. How do you wait? Hold on. I can understand maybe losing like 1 or 2 once you realize the gate is open.
Yeah.
But how do 43 get out before you realize they're missing? I don't understand.
They all followed each other. It's like when one person leaves class because the professor doesn't show up and everyone else leaves and only a few stay.
This might be the funniest story we've read. I'm literally crying.
Well, this isn't the first time they've lost monkeys from their research facility. In the past, 19 monkeys escaped, and they were fined $12,600, but they found them within 6 hours. So right now, there are no updates that they have been found. The police say to call 911 immediately if you see them, and to keep away from the primates. So
I can't see the script. There's too many tears.
This seems like a good time to get a pet monkey. I mean,
if you find one, can you keep it as pet?
There should be like a cash reward if you find one.
I think we need to move on. I can't hold this. We hope your weekend is off to a great start. After the break, we're welcoming some special guests to the show to tell us more about their experiences as first-generation college students. Stay tuned.
Yesterday at a breakfast recognizing first-generation students here at USC, Governor McMaster declared November 8th as First-Generation College Celebration Day. McMaster said the day was to recognize and celebrate the impact that first-generation students have had and will continue to have in the South Carolina workforce. Today, we are joined by Melissa Kupfer, the Assistant Director of the First Gen Center, and Angie Orozco Rico as a first-generation student studying mechanical engineering here at USC to talk a little bit more about her experience and what this day means to her. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I guess first off, I really want to talk about your time as a first generation student here. What has it been like so far?
It's been great so far. Yeah, great experience overall. Very much enjoying it, and I think the LLC overall has helped a lot with my experience too.
Yeah, and we kind of want to discuss a little bit about the First Generation Center and what you offer for students and how you help students along their college experience.
Oh, absolutely. So the First Generation College Center is for all first-gen students at USC, both undergraduate and graduate students, and we hope to be a central resource for all students to provide them with all kinds of services and supports no matter where they are in their journey. We want them to be successful at USC.
That's great. Yeah, I know. I mentioned earlier you send all the first generation emails out, and I always get them every week or so. So I'm like, yes, like I keep track.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, Megan's a first generation student.
I am. Yay. So, what made you decide you wanted to go to college in the first place?
Well, down in Beaufort, it's always just been like a flagship school. It was like, I didn't really have a dream school in mind because as first generation, you don't really advertise college. Your parents didn't have like a college they go to. They didn't have that like alumni-ship, so I kind of just picked wherever seemed the best or the most affordable as well. That's definitely a big part. But overall, I just liked the campus and the environment seemed very homely, and I was like, okay, let's go here.
What has been easier than you thought about college, and maybe what has been more difficult than you imagined?
I think the thing that has been easier, surprisingly for me, it was like making friends and connections. I didn't expect to have that many like people surrounding me and having that like connection with others. I think the hardest thing for me personally has been like time management, definitely. But I think that's like with a lot of students as well. But I think as first generation, it's a bit harder because your parents don't necessarily have all the tips and tricks as someone who's had the experience of going to college. So you kind of have to figure it out on yourself or reach out to those around you. So like at the First Gen Center, just people who come from a similar background to you to help figure out how to get through these experiences that are very new to you.
Yeah.
At the First Generation Center, what are possibly some events or opportunities coming up for first generation students to be involved with?
Yeah, so we have a variety of opportunities. One of the things that we have is a great mentoring program. Angie's a part of that program, and students who participate in it say they have a very good connection with the mentors and they've enjoyed it. We also have some unique networking dinners just for first-gen students to network with other students in their major as well as faculty members in a very supportive and caring environment so that they can practice those networking skills in a safe environment, so when they go out and do this, in the real world, then they have some experience behind them.
Yeah, of course.
So, what is it like being part of that mentorship program?
I'd say it's a very rewarding. You make the most of it, essentially. So Miss Renee Jenkins is my mentor. She works in the mechanical engineering department for the engineering college. She works with graduates, actually. So she provides like a different skill set to like other mentors I may have. And it's just been nice, even if it's not just for like advice or resources. It's just good to have someone to talk to who has that similar background to you. I think that's like very important as first gen, just having that like connection, because it's a new place. I feel like I'm repeating a lot, but it's a new place, and having that like somewhere to go to is very important. So I think that mentorship has definitely provided that, as well as helping connect me with other resources around the campus.
Yeah. Now, Governor McMaster named today First Generation College Celebration Day, the first one. I kind of want to know from both of you what it means to have this statewide holiday celebrated.
Well, it's wonderful that Governor McMaster recognizes this day. It's also recognized nationally, so we are part of a national initiative to celebrate the first generation college students. And it's so wonderful to know that we have statewide support for our initiatives and our goals to help students be successful and to graduate.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like I'd say it's definitely important, because I feel like that helps recognize other fresh-gen students. It helps give them a sense of support to know that they're going to be supported by those around them and their community, it helps motivate one, definitely. I definitely feel motivated. I think it's a very, very kind gesture. It's definitely really good.
That's wonderful. Now, I do hate to bring this up, but you said you're from Beaufort.
Yes.
Have you potentially seen the monkeys that we discussed earlier?
I wasn't home when that occurred.
We're
She's
gonna
so
find out.
busy being a first
I
generation.
know, I
Come
know,
on.
I know. Well, thank you guys so much. We
Yeah,
appreciate you
of course.
coming out. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you talking about your experience. After the break, Megan and I will be back to discuss a controversial SEC policy. You don't want to miss it. This past Saturday, the unranked South Carolina Gamecocks pulled off a big win in Williams-Brice against the 12th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies, with the score being 44-20. With just seconds left on the clock, Gamecock fans rushed the field to celebrate what is probably Gamecock football's biggest win of the season so far. Now, I was covering the game for SGTV. If you haven't seen the package, go check it out. Shameless plug, I know. You were in the color guard, so we both had
busy with the marching band.
yeah, we both had kind of unique experiences
Yeah.
to this whole field rushing thing. I want to hear what yours was like.
Yeah, so this isn't the first time that in my career as a college student that we saw our students try to storm the field to a Texas A&M game. My sophomore year, I don't even know what year that was anymore. We tried to storm the field after a Texas A&M win. That was the first time we ever beat Texas A&M. So this past weekend's win was the second time. And so everyone was lined up, same way they were this past weekend. In the stands, pushing down on all of the stair walkways, trying to get down. They did a lot better job of blocking the stuff last time. This time they didn't even try. And, so we're sitting there and I'm like, at first I was like, wow, this is kind of like a game that I'm like, I don't think we should be storming it. Like, I don't think it was that big of a win to storm the field, just because I came from that Tennessee, storming.
I
and
disagree.
That Clemson storming. But if I didn't come from those experiences, I would think I would have had a different positive experience on it. But I still had a great time.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing is, everyone rushes the field. The marching band always has a post-game show. No one knows that because they leave the stadium because they want to get out of there. But my favorite thing is when they storm the field, we get to play to them.
That's awesome.
So, we play the alma mater. We play a song called Neck, which is our song that we play every time we win. And a few other songs here and there. And it's just so fun seeing everyone on the field getting hyped to us playing.
Yeah.
And I just think that's, I'm like, because it's like, nothing else is going on besides them on the field and us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's such a cool experience to be able to, do my pom-poms up there while
Yeah.
everyone's going crazy on the field.
It's an immense sense of school spirit.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
It feels so good.
Now, I thought the field storming was warranted. I think this was our first ranked win of the year, South Carolina's first ranked win of the year, I think.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I think.
Because
I think you might be right.
Kentucky was not ranked.
Kentucky was not ranked.
Oklahoma was not ranked. We lost to LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss. So I think it was warranted.
I mean, we could be, what is it?
Alabama and LSU were close.
We could be a 7-1 team right now.
That's
And
coming
that
from a Gamecock
that
fan.
Hurts.
It does. It does. It does. The LSU game hurt. The Alabama game hurt. But they're in the past.
Yeah.
We beat Texas A&M.
We
South
wouldn't
Carolina beat
beat
Texas A&M.
LSU.
On homecoming. That's right. Yeah, it was homecoming.
Right. That
weekend.
was what meant more. I had my, my friends back in town that they graduated last year, and they were at the game for Tennessee. They ended up leaving early that year when they were in college and never got to storm the field. So coming back for homecoming, being able to storm the field too must be so cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit sour because I really didn't get to storm the field. I was covering it for SGTV, so I was up in the media box for the second half, and my partner who was down on the field, he was texting me. He was like, "You got to get down here. Everyone's getting on the field." I was, writing up notes, looking through old footage, trying to get together the package, and he said, "Chloe, get down here." Yeah, exactly. So I start to come down. The press box has 3 elevators in it, and I tried going down the elevator to get down to the field level, and they have 2 open elevators. I walk in one, and they're like, "Are you with media?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm with media. You can't come down here. This is reserved for the coaches." It's like, all right, fine. So I have to wait for this one elevator that's taking everyone up and down like 7 stories.
Yeah.
And so I was late to the field. By the time I get down to the field, everyone was already on the field.
Right.
The storming had happened. It was stormed it was now a clear sunny day.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I got a picture with the football player.
I saw that.
I have no idea who that was. I'm really sorry, but I was like, hey. And he was like, sure. It was really fun.
That's so fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to storm it. I've never been able to storm any of the fields.
Color guard.
But,
Yeah.
you know, people ask me and they're like, oh, like, why didn't you guys storm the field? And I was like, oh, like, we're not supposed to. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, they never really told us we can't. Like,
Yeah.
The directors have never said, like, don't rush the field. But it was never a thought of us, like, we're all good band kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're not going to go rush the field when we know we still have stuff to do, you know?
I can just imagine, like, the tuba players, like, running into the field with their tuba.
That'd be crazy.
But with it being such a blowout win, messages started popping up on the video board with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter about how the SEC does not allow fans to rush a field when there's still athletes and coaches and officials.
By the way, the only conference out of all college sports to do this. So.
And arguably in the best college conference. That's not coming, I mean.
Which is crazy.
And that is coming with a little bit of bias because we're part of it, but also I would argue that SEC is probably the most competitive college conference.
For sure.
For college sports.
Yes.
Yeah, especially
for
SEC
football.
is a big deal.
Especially for football,
Because
yeah.
it's steeped in history. Some of the other conferences don't have that.
So tell us about, we've been able to storm fields before, we get a fine. What's new about the fines now?
Yeah, so with this new policy that was amended by the SEC in 2023, with each subsequent offense, the school gets fined more money. So when South Carolina fans rushed the court when men's basketball upset Kentucky back in January, they got fined $100,000. This offense, where South Carolina fans stormed the field after the Texas A&M win, this will cost the school $250,000. And the next offense would rack up $500,000.
Yeah, and so I think one thing we should mention is, my sophomore year, we rushed Clemson's field. You still get charged and fined for rushing another school's field. That's not in the SEC. So we'll see what happens in the upstate, coming this end of November, but we gotta be careful. I mean, I think, Beamer's happy to pay the money.
Oh, of course.
But
Of course. For an experience like that, obviously, the school will dish out the money. However, what is interesting is what happens to that money. Where does that go?
Yeah, tell us, because I just learned this today.
It gets paid to the visiting school. So Texas A&M just got $250,000 because South Carolina won a football game. I'm technically not supposed to say we as a journalist because then that's biased, but because we won a football game. The money used to go to an SEC scholarship fund, but it changed when this policy got amended last year. So Kentucky has got $100,000 from us. Texas A&M has got $250,000 from us. We'll see what happens next.
What's so sad is we're just not good enough where, if a team rushes our field or, whatever, vice versa, we're not getting any of the money.
No,
so we're just
you're
pulling
right.
this money away
You're
because
right.
we're not good enough for a team to storm against us.
Exactly.
But I think that's what's so fun about being a Gamecock is we were always kind of an underdog.
We're always
in some
the
kind of
underdog.
way.
Yeah.
So, and I will say, they were the talk all over social media and all over the news this past week after that win. My mom actually sent me a video yesterday. GMA, Good Morning America, they even did a whole package, on us talking about them.
Everybody's covering it.
Everyone's covering
it
it.
was kind of a big deal.
And
it's a big deal.
It's always interesting when you see, specifically South Carolina, make it up to, those New York State media.
Yes.
You don't really see that often unless it's something crazy like this.
Exactly.
And it's super cool to see.
I think it was especially prevalent because I believe this was the second highest point differential in recent SEC history.
First one was Tennessee.
Yes, between a non-ranked school and a ranked school.
Yeah, I think it was 63 to 20, something like that.
That's actually wild. That's actually crazy. But yeah, two big penalties against South Carolina. I kind of like being the underdog.
I do too.
I kind of do.
It makes it more fun.
It does make it more fun.
Because if we went to Georgia, wouldn't get boring?
That's kind of what I think.
And it's
talk to a Georgia fan. I'm not really sure. But
well, they're very proud to be Georgia fans. So.
Yeah, I like being the underdogs. I also think South Carolina is having a really good season. I can't give you any sort of analysis on it. That's what the BDL brothers do. But this team is fun to watch.
For sure.
It's just fun.
They bring on basically every week, and besides, I would say, that Ole Miss game, they brought a fight. I mean, I have to say that LSU game, even though we lost, was one of my favorite games I've ever been to.
I think that
for
was my
Gamecock
favorite
football.
game I've ever been to.
It was so extremely loud.
It was
in there.
amazing.
Even the Alabama game, you know, my friends and I went out to go watch it, and it was just crazy. We were freaking out, you know, jumping up and down, screaming, and then, you know,
Yes.
it happens. But
Things happen. The energy was really, really, really something special.
Yeah.
But I do think we need to have a moment of silence for the shrubs that were absolutely destroyed when students came from the cockpit onto the field.
Yeah.
I think we have an image of that, if we can put it up on the screen.
yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Totally
Good thing
gone.
we have, you know, we have 2 weeks from that game till our next game. But I don't know. I will say those shrubs were playing some good defense.
They were. They were.
Those people were falling over those.
Yes.
But
I saw a tweet that said that the shrubs played better defense than the Texas A&M.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I mean,
That is funny. That is funny. And I
And-
mean, there were pictures of people holding up the like the branches
Oh, yeah,
or the
and
twigs.
my,
So fun.
My friends, you know, they moved out to Arizona after college, brought the shrub home with them, took a picture of him holding the shrub to the plane window on his trip home. And I
Amazing.
thought that was so funny.
Amazing.
Imagine sitting next to them and being like, who is this kid pulling out a branch for on the plane? It's just, but we're Gamecock fans, what can you say?
Exactly. Amazing, awesome, awesome game. If you want to catch Gamecock football again, there's another game tomorrow against the number 24 ranked Vanderbilt Commodores. Interesting to see Vanderbilt ranked, Meagan. They're really rocking it this year.
I don't know how they're ranked or not. I'm gonna be a little opinionated for a second. I mean, come on. We have played a season. I don't know how we're not ranked. We had 53. It was around 53 votes for us last week for the AP poll, and we're still not ranked. So
You know, maybe after we beat, if we beat
I have
Vanderbilt.
a feeling that maybe after hopefully we beat Vanderbilt.
Positive mindset. Positive mindset. Positive mindset. If we beat LSU or Alabama, I think this would be much different.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, in the past, let's not harp on it.
no,
It's over.
there's always next year.
There's always next year. To get back into Willie B, you will have to wait until the week after, where the Gamecocks take on Missouri for South Carolina's final SEC matchup this season.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's going to be my final SEC matchup as a member of the Carolina band and a color guard. And I'm just like, it went so fast that I'm starting to get like, ooh, like I'm going to, I always go to practice and I'm like, wow, I really don't want to be here right now. But then I'm like, man, this is like my last 15th practice of the season.
Yeah.
Like,
Isn't that with everything though?
Yeah.
I dread waking up at 7 o'clock on Friday mornings to do this, but I actually love it.
Yeah.
I really I do love it, guys. Don't get your wires crossed. I actually love being here.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to take in all the Gamecock football as
Yeah.
it comes. And I mean, once a Gamecock, always a Gamecock.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, after the break, Chloe and I will be back to talk about the return on Starbucks holiday menu. Stay with us.
Meagan, I am very excited today. Do you know why?
Oh, I do know why.
Starbucks has brought back their holiday drinks.
Yay!
I got a peppermint mocha yesterday, and I could feel the essence of Mariah Carey enter my soul. It was incredible. Carolina's saying it's too early. It's not. It is not too early to be celebrating Christmas. Hot take.
Thanksgiving it's due. Give Thanksgiving it's due.
No, it's. I'm
I'd
ready.
rather Starbucks holiday drinks compared to their, pumpkin.
I do too.
Latte,
I think their holiday
whatever,
drinks
this-
are better in the fall.
Yeah.
I think it's not too early to be celebrating Christmas. Caroline thinks it is. I want Delaney, other producer Delaney. Is it too early to be celebrating Christmas?
Yes.
She thinks it is too. No, are you in agreement with me?
I will say, as a college student now, my roommate and I have to decorate a little bit earlier because we get out, before Christmas. So
Exactly.
we decorate earlier, we celebrate a little bit earlier, but I still leave my Thanksgiving decorations up at the same time as my Christmas decorations.
Oh, that's criminal.
So the turkey's out, well, the tree's up, so
That's That's quite criminal.
But Starbucks drinks, I mean, they're so good. My
It's great.
favorite is the gingerbread. They brought it back last year, and they had gotten rid of it for a few years. And I mean, I started drinking the little gingerbread frappuccinos my mom would let me get as a treat every once in a while in high school, and I was obsessed. They are so good.
I really don't like the sugar cookie one. That's not my favorite.
I like it hot.
Okay, I'll have to try it.
I like
Delaney
it
thinks
hot.
it's not good.
Yeah.
That was Grace. Grace is nothing. It's good. Not good.
Also, I mean, we also see, Starbucks every year. The holiday cups is such a staple for them. Hot take, I don't like them this year. It's like a love-hate because, I mean, they are that, retro 50s, look. Mm-hmm. But I don't like bringing the pink in. I like just the green and the red. Yeah, it's got a little bit of
That's
a
a beautiful cup.
It's got a little.
It's a wonderful
It's like a little
cup.
bit like
Don't hate it.
mid-century modern in it. You know what I mean?
Don't hate on the cup. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful creation. Yeah, see,
They're
Caroline
busy.
likes it.
They're a little busy.
Caroline
Nothing
likes
is
it.
better than the classic red cup. Come on.
I want to know what Doug thinks. Doug is our tech. Doug, what do you think about the cups?
Could not care less.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Are you not a Starbucks fan, Doug?
Not really.
He's not a
Not a
Starbucks
Starbucks
fan.
fan.
He's not a Starbucks fan. Man, we got a bunch of haters today.
Yeah.
It's not here. Here's Chloe's wrap up. If you want to do the ding sound when I say each of these things, it's not too early to be celebrating Christmas.
Ding.
Ding. The peppermint mocha is the best drink.
I agree.
Ding.
I don't know about that.
That's crazy.
That's just wrong. I'm sorry. There's not. You're
No.
not.
Toasted praline.
Whew. Are you 80?
So
Why are you drinking praline drinks?
No, it's so good. It's like chestnut praline. It's so good.
Again, are you 80? Why are you drinking chestnut flavored things?
My mom put me on. Delicious. It's so good. You know what? Next Friday, I'm getting all you toasted chestnut praline lattes from Starbucks.
All right, fine. Yeah.
I'll put you
we
on.
will make sure that she holds her side of the offer. We'll make sure.
Oh God.
Yeah, with lattes being like $8.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Everyone gets a tall.
Everyone gets
Actually,
the
they're all the
tiniest
size.
one.
They're all the size of like a little espresso shot.
Just this big. Just a taste test.
Gosh.
Well, if you have any stark opinions about the Starbucks cups or flavors,
I want to hear them.
I do want to hear
love
them.
to hear
I'm
them.
quite curious. But with that, we wrap up Good Morning Gamecocks for today, November 8th, 2024.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Chloe Findlay.
And I'm Meagan Daukshus. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great weekend, Carolina. Forever to be.